Alright, so I made this video before, obviously, because I'm using it like this, but like different positions on the new map, basically. So I got my main man Zed to help me out,
Yep.
and as you can hear him, but I forgot my mic was muted. So right now, I'll just go through and explain everything that happens as it's happening, kind of like commentating over it again, just like commentating over the video version of it. But I figured I would make this video to help a few new players out that are just starting on this map. So what I found was this grapple spot over here on this map. So I asked Zed to grapple up, obviously, and in a moment you're gonna see a certain spot that would be really powerful for this area. We call this crane, and basically what you want to do is grapple up on that side, and then as you can see, he's going to melee roll over on this side. So he made it over. Cool. This is actually a good spot. Right about now, I should be showing you how to get someone off of this spot, and then afterwards, I should be showing you like where your teammate should be standing. But I'm pretty sure if you have a teammate that's standing up there, you would be standing somewhere around him to fucking help the guy. In this particular moment, I asked Zed to basically look at me to see if he could poke me out before I get ready to do this charge. All right, so he couldn't see me. He just assumed. He tried to guess, but this is the charge. This is how you get someone down, or this is how you do damage or single someone out. Like right there, that's a 1v1 situation between a scout and a tyrant. There's nothing he can do. All he can do is knives and run away or fall off. But at that very moment, there's going to be a team fight happening, so there's literally nothing he can do. So right now, I'm showing you the pings of where his teammates would be, where they would normally be standing if they were to stand in this position or decide to hold this grapple spot. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Scout grapples up, teammates surround him. When team fights happen, Scout tries to get chip on people from afar. It's an all right spot. It's nothing special. It's really, if you feel like you're a badass and you can pull it off, then do it. If you can't, then don't fucking do it, because you will get stomped. If you can't shoot, don't do it. The second area that I'm going to show you right now is stables, or we call it stables anyway. You can call it desert, you can call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. You can call it a magic rainbow. But the scout should be the one standing on the stage, or he could be standing in this back corner right here. The back corner is not as good as the stage for the simple fact that it limits your view. It limits your field of view in comparison to being on the stage. Being on the stage, you have an elevation change that you can go through. Being in that corner, you're kind of fucked. So, Scout's going to be up there. I'm going to show you as a tyrant where his teammates would be standing, which would be on the other side of this wall patrolling, or would be on these steps, looking over whatever, being protected and kind of being that secret weapon, or it could be in this position that I'm showing you right now. But the problem with the position that I'm showing you now is a DM could happen down that hallway or something like that. So you got to be aware of what you're doing when that shit happens, all right? But this is a really good spot. I would say this is probably number one, number two spot on the map. It's really arguable what position is the best position. And the next position we're going to show you is prison, point O, basically. And where the scout wants to stand is in the corner, in the far corner. But I'm pretty sure in the video you'll see it in a moment. So typically the scout wants to hold the far corner closest to the steps, or the scout wants to hold that stage area up there, because then he has an elevation change if he gets focused. Just makes it easier for him. Or he can go with the grapple spot that you see right now. But the grapple spot is not recommended because DM is a really powerful thing on this map, and I'll show you in a moment a DM spot once we get through this. So we're gonna move Zed back into the corner, and I'm gonna ping out where his teammates would be. So typically, there's gonna be a hunter in this building. I'm pretending to be the hunter as a tyrant. Typical. He's just looking around, making sure no one's doing anything crazy over there. He has tons of cover to get away from DM. He has all he needs basically. Next position is going to be in that little alleyway or peeking around that alleyway. But typically, you want to be at the bottom of the steps because the bottom of the steps still has an elevation change and it's like a little stage. It gives you options basically. And then you can have another person on the steps also. So you can have 3 people on the steps and 1 person on the stage. You don't have to have anyone in the pit in particular. It gives everyone an elevation change and it makes vampire engages one-sided. So right now I'm gonna get Zed to kill me, and then I'm gonna show you the DM spot for this part. Just in case people want to do the DM spot, just know that this DM spot is situational. Basically, well, it's not really situational. It's more of a this shit is only gonna work if they do exactly what I need them to do. So you can DM through this hole right here if they try to stand on the box. But you got to make sure you get there without being noticed. The enemy team cannot break the DM unless they shoot through the hole or do a side push. But the scout can shoot through the hole, as you see. So right now I'm going to show you who would be moving. So the guy from the steps, if the scout or whoever's on that box get DM, he's going to move through the little doorway area. And as you can see, he can't really see the body. He wouldn't be able to see the body of the DM from that angle. But just in case I'm wrong, I got Zed to move into that position. I went into the DM position, and from what Zed told me, the only thing he could see is my foot.
Push your foot.
There you go. He said it in the video. He could only see my foot in actuality. So that happens, right? He can only see my foot, and if he pushes out too much, you can just turn, let your teammates know to engage on him. Something. Give your teammates a heads up when someone doing some crazy ass push like that, because you can counter it. You can definitely counter it. If they do a push like that, they're probably not very good because they can get punished easily for that. But it is on the vamps to punish it. Next, I'm going to show you a spot where you cannot DM from without putting your head out too far. So basically, the spot on the stage, you can look over the edge and you can see them and everything, but you cannot DM them from this spot unless you move closer to the edge. You either have to move closer to the edge or they have to move all the way in the back, as you can see on the screen. But there's so many places that can stop that, because there's going to be 2 other people on the staircase, so they can stop it. The guy that's going to be under you pushing that area, he can stop it. Anybody can stop it because you're out in the open. So that's a terrible DM spot. So please, please, please do not try to pull that off, because it's not going to work ever for you. It's really not. The only way that DM spot will work is if a team fight has already broken out and they use all their shit. Other than that, it's not going to work for you. All right, so I believe in this point in the video, we're going to be moving to the next position on the map. And Zed's just showing you all the little grapple spots and all the little things that you can do in the stables area, just in case you were wondering. But again, only use grapple if you have a good team that can support you. Like if you don't have a good team that can support you, or if you can't shoot, don't don't use it for the love of God, because you will get wrecked. You will get wrecked, and you're gonna come to me and say, "Oh, the spot's bad." But in actuality, it's vice versa. So the next position we're going to show you is a place that we call well, fire, whatever you want to call it, basically. So typically, the scout wants to be behind the well because the well is OP as fuck. No DMs can get through. You can dodge tyrant charges. You can dodge shockwaves with it. You can do all types of things with it. But we call it well. Scouts can stand behind it, and be generally safe. So typically, I believe right about now, my pings are going to come out. Yeah, the pings are coming out to show you where the humans would be standing. So there would be one under that gate, one on the second stage, and then one on the side right there. And then the scout would be behind well. I'm gonna show you why the well spot is good. Because even though someone can push from the side here, the only person that can actually push them off or push vampires off from this spot is the person that pushes under that gate. If they push under the gate, they're putting themselves in a situation. But Zed's going to go down and hold that spot the way it's supposed to be held. See, I can't DM him behind the well. So even if I am up here, the spot's useless because I can't see the guy on stage. I can't see the guy around the corner. I can't see the guy under me, and I cannot see the scout. But the scout can see me, and I'm just putting myself out there for no reason. All right, and at this point, I'm telling Zed to grapple up on this position up here, so that you can see another version of this position or another version of this hold. But it's going to give you an idea to why this hold is not as good as the first one I showed you. So he's going to hold that spot up there with grapple as you can, and I'm going to go back over into the other spot that I previously showed you. From this position, I can DM him. The only person that can literally stop me from DMing him is the guy that's on stage. If he rolls off a stage, he can stop me. The guy that's under me, he may be able to stop me. And then there's a guy by the steps under Zed. And that guy may or may not be able to stop me, depending on how my team engages on vampires. So I'm just gonna look around, show you a few things. This position of the map that I'm showing you now, we call it nest because there's a whole bunch of cages, and it's kind of like a play on words if you think about it. So nest is to the left of bridge. Bridge is the big one, and to the right is prison, stables, crane, well, and then there's this big church thing in the middle. But you never want to go to the middle as a human. You just want to avoid that as much as possible. And I'm pretty sure you can assume by the names of each of these places which one is what, because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this shit out. All right, so just moving around the map, showing you a few places. Try to avoid the middle of the map as much as possible. The middle of the map is the vamp favorite side of the map, but overall, the outskirts of the map are human favorite. There's grapple spots all over the place, so you can be really flexible with your team comps. You can do all types of different things. As always, it's your boy Zeus. I'm out.